Ready guys, we'll start. In the last class, we discussed about typing text, right? Typing text, installing new fonts, applying effects, layer styles. What's that sound? Brushing. Any doubts regarding this? How to change the text? What is a shortcut for changing the text size? Increasing or decreasing the text size? Shift greater than less than, correct? Control shift. Yeah. Okay. Resetting this workspace. Reset. How to remove an object? I told, right? Select and remove. Content aware. What is the shortcut for that? Content aware fill. Shift F5. Okay. So you understood about move tool, selection tools, lasso tool, polygon lasso tool. We covered quick selection and magic wand also. And what we have covered? Filling colors. Filling these colors. What is the shortcut for filling foreground color? All back. How to fill background color? Control backspace. What is the shortcut for zoom in, zoom out? Zoom in, zoom out. Control plus minus. Okay. Control spacebar also. Okay. Hand tool shortcut? Spacebar. Hold spacebar. Good. Okay. You understood installing the fonts also, right? Installing fonts. Okay. Any doubts in typing tool? How to end the typing tool? Horizontal. Typing tool. How to end it? Control enter. Or enter in the numerical keypad. Okay. Let's learn about shapes. Okay. Shapes. Paths. Pen tool. Okay, we will discuss about raster. Today we will discuss about raster graphics versus vector graphics. In that we will learn shapes, paths, and pen tool. Okay. Raster graphics are made using pixels. Vector graphics are made using paths. So for example, if I create a new document and I'm creating a new rectangle like this, I want to create new layer. What is the shortcut for creating new layer? Control Shift N. I'm creating a new layer. I want to fill the color here. Let's take some color here like green. Alt backspace, you will fill it. How to deselect? Control D. So this shape which we created is a raster. It's a rectangle, but the shape which we created is a raster graphic. If you are using these tools, the circle tool, ellipse tool, rectangle, or any lasso, if you are using this tool, these are the shapes which we get in raster mode. These are the raster graphics. One second, guys. So these are the raster graphics. Means if you scale up or scale down, if I scale down, if I transform it down or if I transform again up, what's happening is it's losing the quality. Raster graphics will lose the quality when you change the sizes. Okay, so it's a disadvantage. They're made up of pixels, not scalable. Raster graphics are not scalable. They are fixed size graphics. Because it's raster, the technique is raster. They are made up of pixels. Okay, the math under this is different. The mathematics under the program under this raster graphics is different. Vector graphics is different. Vector graphics you can scale. Vector graphics are scalable. Means when you change the size of a vector graphic or small or big, it's not going to lose its quality. It's not going to blur. Okay. Example for raster graphics are photos. All digital photos which you take, are raster graphics. They are made up of pixels. If you take a 2 megapixel camera and shoot it, you will get 2 megapixel only. Okay. If you want to make it big, it will blur. Common. If you change the size of a small image to big image, it will blur. It will lose the quality. Vector graphics example is like typing tool. Typing tool. Text. The text which we type is a vector. Another example is shapes. Custom shapes. Okay. Vector graphics are made using paths. So let's create some paths here. Okay. I'm going to differentiate these two things. So this circle is got blurred. There is no quality in this. Let's create a circle using these shapes. There is a rectangle. Create a rectangle like this. I can create a circle also. Like this. So these are vector graphics made using paths. So if you select this layer, what do you see here? There are pixels inside this, but they are calculated based on the path. Can you see the path here? Small line, thin line here. I'll show you what is path. This is the path. These are the paths. Okay. Vector graphic is made using these paths. So what happens here? If you scale up or down, there is no the quality is not going to change. I'll delete this part. So if you change the size of this circle, if you increase it, or if you decrease the size, again if you increase, there is no loss of quality. It's going to reproduce the same. It's going to recalculate the pixels for the path. It's going to recalculate the pixels, the number of pixels required to create high quality image. Unlike this one, there is no path here. They're just pixels. If you transform this one, the number of pixels are going to be blurred here. It's not going to reproduce the same quality. But vector graphics, it will reproduce the same quality. But the problem here is in vector graphics, you cannot keep photos. Disadvantage. We cannot create digital photos in vector graphics. Using paths, you cannot create a picture. Using pixels only, you can take a photo. Camera will not create these paths. Okay. So there is a separate software called Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW, vector-based tools. Okay. Illustrator and CorelDRAW are mainly based on vector graphics, which means whatever graphics you create using Illustrator and CorelDRAW, they are scalable. They remain in same quality. If you scale up or down, they remain in same quality. But Photoshop is raster-based software. Example for raster-based is Photoshop raster graphics tool. So mainly whatever you have to remember is raster graphics are made using pixels, vector graphics are made using paths. So raster graphics are not scalable, vector graphics are scalable. In raster graphics, we can have photos. In vector graphics, we cannot take photos. Okay, only shapes. Means logos. Example, shapes example, logos. Okay. If you want to create a logo, create using vector graphic, not using raster graphic. Which means if you create a logo using raster graphics, that logo will remain in the same size. If you want to change the size of the logo, you cannot change it. If you create logos using vector graphics, you can change the size. So logo creation is done in Illustrator and CorelDRAW, not in Photoshop. Okay, Photoshop actually it is not completely vector-based software. It is mainly for raster-based software. Okay, its quality is fixed. Whatever design you make, the quality is fixed. You cannot make it big or small. After creating, you cannot change the size. First itself, you have to decide what is the size of your design. Okay, let's understand shapes. Let's understand how to create shapes and paths using pen tool and custom shapes. So in Photoshop, vector tools are separate here. I'll show you where it is. I'm taking a default photo size. From this line to this line, all these tools are vector graphics tool. So one is the pen tool. This is pen tool. Pen tool is used to create any shape. You can draw using pen tool. Means you can create shapes. Typing tool, you know, right? Typing tool also, when you change the size of the text, it's not going to lose the quality. It's a vector based graphic. Typing tool. Typing tool also comes under vector graphics only. This one is to modify the shapes. These are the selection tools which are used to modify the paths. When you draw paths, you can modify using these selection tools. And you can create uh, shapes using this tool. These are the shapes. If you want to create a circle, rectangle in vector mode, you can use these tools. If you want to create circle, rectangle in raster mode, you can use these selection tools. Okay, the tools which are here are raster, and these are also raster. All the tools, whatever you see other than this yellow box, okay, whatever you see other than this, the tools which you see here, all are raster. Okay, some are selection tools, some are painting tools. Painting also not possible in vector. Vector painting is not there. Okay, only raster painting. There are some other softwares for vector painting. So let's create shapes. Let's understand this pen tool and the shapes tool. So go here. What do you see here? Rectangle. You have a rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool. Difference between rectangle and rounded rectangle. Can you see the difference? The corners are smooth, rounded. And ellipse is used to create circle shapes. Polygon is used to draw triangles, squares, rectangles. Polygon means any shape. Okay, polygon means any shape. Whatever shapes you see here, the polygons are like this. I'll show you. There are different type of polygons. This is a, what is the shape? Triangle. This is square. Simple name square. This is pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nanogon, decagon means 10, 9, 8 sides. How many sides you have? That gon means sides. Okay, Gon, gon means side, meaning poly means many. Polygon means many sides. It can be triangle. Triangle means 3 sides. Quadrilateral means quadra means 4. Penta means 5. 5 gons, 5 sides. So all together we call them as polygons. Like we all are humans, right? Your name is different, my name is different, but we all are humans. Like that, this all set is called polygons. వీటన్నిటిని polygons అంటాం. Okay, so using polygon tool, you can draw triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon, all the shapes. Line tool is used to draw a single line, just like an underline or a strike. And custom tool is used to draw any shape. Custom shapes. Okay, let me show you. So if you draw, but when you're drawing these tools, you have different modes, different options here. You have shape mode, you have path mode, you have pixels. Pixels means again it becomes raster. Okay, 3 options here. Whichever tool you take any tool. You take rectangle, rounded rectangle, any tool, the options are common here. You see, when I'm taking a rectangle tool, I can just draw a vector graphic like this. This is a vector graphic. There is no path here. Okay, if you put path, you will get only path. If you put pixels, you will get only pixels. If you put shape mode, you will get both path and pixels, both. Okay, I'll explain again. So in these tools, whatever tool you take, there are 3 modes to draw. You decide based on your requirement. So when you're drawing, you can keep shape mode, you can keep path mode, you can keep pixels mode also. Most commonly we use shape mode. Okay, path mode and pixels mode very rarely used. If you create in shape mode, what happens? In path mode, what happens? Pixel mode, what happens? I'll tell you. What are the shapes you see? Rectangle, right? Rectangle, tool. Options, tool options, tool options. In that you have modes. Shape mode, another one is path mode, path, another one is pixels. In shape mode, you get color plus path. In path mode, only path. You will draw only path. Pixels mode, you draw only color. Got it? You just get only foreground color. This is the difference. Color means, again, color is created using pixels only. Color itself is pixels. Okay. If you don't have pixels, there is no color. Pixels are the main foundation for your graphics. Okay. Color means pixels. Pixels can be in any color. Green, red, blue, any color. So if you put shape mode and draw, circle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon. I can change the number of sides here in the polygon, 5 sides, 3 sides, not less than 3. 3 is the minimum sides. 2 sides you won't get a polygon, right? You can keep 7 sides like this. So using polygon, you can decide which shape you want, how many number of sides you want. If you want directly rectangle, you can take a rectangle and draw. If you want rounded rectangle is having a rounded corner like this. The roundness you can control here. How much roundness you want, you can control here. More roundness, like 20 radius, you get more roundness at the edge. 2 pixels radius, you got less roundness at the edge corner. So using rounded rectangle, you can create this kind of shapes, which can be used for creating UI design, like buttons. When you are developing UI, when you are designing your user interface, UI designing, when you want to create buttons like a rounded corner, you can use rounded rectangle. Even if you want to create this kind of button also, you can increase the radius and create these buttons. See, different rectangles, different shapes. These all are buttons. A straightforward rectangle and a rounded rectangle. A rounded rectangle with outline. There is no outline here. So you can draw all these shapes, all the buttons, using these custom shapes. Let me delete all the layers, delete them. So if I want to create a button, what I will do is I'll just draw, put it in shape mode, just draw a rectangle. If you want a straightforward rectangle, you can define the size also. If you want to decide how much width you want, how much height you want for that button, you can enter that pixel number here. Width, I want width as 20 pixels width, and height is 10 pixels, for example. If I click and OK, I get an exact button of that size, 20 pixels, 10 pixels height. If I want more size, 200 pixels, 100 pixels, I can modify that. You can change the width and height of this rectangle in a specific dimension. You can enter the number of units. If you want inches, you can put inches, 200 inches, 100 inches. It's too much, right? If you want millimeters, you can put mm, 200 millimeters, 100 millimeters. So you have a lot of options here. If you are drawing using this raster mode, you don't have much options. But when you are creating shapes using this rectangle tool, or any tool, you can define its radius, its size specifically. Okay, rectangle. Take a rectangle. You put the width and height here. Say I want 1 inch wide, 1 inch wide, half inch height, 0.5 inches. Inches means IN. Centimeters, cm. Millimeters, you can put mm. Pixels, you can put px. Okay. So those are the units. So just enter this width and height in a specific value and just click. And again, it's asking the same thing. And click OK. You got a button which is 1 inch wide and half inch height. And then if you want to modify this, you can modify now also. If you want to increase a little bit, you can increase that. Maybe 0.7, you can increase. You want reduce, you can reduce it. 0.4 like that. Clear? And if you want to change the color of this one, you have fill option, stroke option, and stroke width. These are the options you see here. In shape mode, when you draw in shape mode, you got color fill option here, and this is outline. Fill color. You can edit the fill color from this box. If you click here, you will get an option to edit the fill color. If you click here, you will get an outline color. Outline color. You can choose your outline color here, and also this one is outline thickness. Outline thickness. Outline thickness. Outline styles. Okay, these are the options. And next one is width and height of the graphic. Width and height of the graphic. And there are other modes like add, subtract, that I will explain later. You can add shapes, subtract shapes, same like we learned in selection tools. So you can add selections, subtract selections, same options are available here. Okay, alignment options, merging options are there. I'll explain that later, but see this one. How to fill the color, how to fill outline color, adjusting the thickness, and controlling the style of the thickness. These options, 4 options. So select this layer. Okay, it automatically creates a layer. You don't have to create. When you create these shapes, it creates a layer also for you. So if you want to edit this color, click on this box. You got a dot. Something personal. Personal messages apart, not in group. Okay. You chat with that guy, man, not with me. Okay. You are broadcasting it to the entire group. So here, fill color. You can click on the fill color. Click. Choose any color. That's it. If you don't want to fill this one, this is none. No color. See, this is no color fill. This one is color fill. This one is a gradient fill. You can fill it through a gradient, means multiple colors. I will explain gradients also. You can fill it with a pattern also, texture. 4 options. One is no fill, just fill color, any solid color, or any gradient. You can edit the gradient also. Different modes here. You can edit the gradients. So some buttons you can see shading on that. These are flat buttons. Yeah, these buttons you see here, there are some shading in this. Shaded like a black, green, and black again. This is a gradient. This is just a fill. This one is a gradient. This one is yellow and red gradient. You can edit horizontally or vertically. You can draw the gradient horizontally or vertically. These are drawn horizontally. Right now what we are seeing is vertical gradient. Vertical means top to down, the straight radius like this. So go here, you can change the angle. You can change this to 0 degrees or 30 degrees. You'll get a diagonal, 45 degrees, or you can enter 90 degrees. You can rotate the gradient. I'm saying you can rotate this gradient style here. Different gradients are there, different styles of gradient, radial gradient, circular, angular, different styles, reflected. This is reflected. Just now what you're seeing here is a reflected one. Okay, reflection kind of thing, reflected. Various options are there, you just try them out. Diamond shape, different modes are there in gradient. If you want to edit this gradient, you click here, you can add more colors. Double click, change the color, double click, change the color, double click here. You can add colors like this. Just double click, then you can change the style, rotate it. How much angle you want, you can just rotate the gradient itself inside the rectangle only. It's like this. So understood gradient, if you don't want this many colors, just drag outside, click and drag outside, click, drag outside, pull outside, pull it outside. You are going to delete the gradients. You can add more colors, you can delete the colors if you don't want. If you want a black and white or colors here, you can choose them. You can choose these colors. Some presets are already available. You can choose these colors also, like striped one, multicolor. These colors you cannot use for button. Button means it should be simple, a solid or just 2 colors maximum. 2 colors is okay. That should be simple, like 90 degrees vertical. That will create a button style. So no color fill, just one single color fill, multiple color fill, and then a pattern, texture fill. In textures you can give patterns like this. Only if you want. If you don't want, don't give. If you want to create a button, just go with a gradient or fill. They have given option to choose textures also if you want. So choose your option, guys. According to your requirement, choose these options. And if you want to edit more colors here, you have a color editor here. Just click here. Simply you get a color picker again. The last button here. This last button is to add any color other than the colors which you see here. You're seeing few colors only here. If you want any other color, click here, edit it. So understood these options for filling? Okay. Okay, I'm taking a sky blue button like this. Okay, if I want to give outline to this, see there is a path here. This is not the outline. There is a black color path. Can you see that path actually? I'll take a print screen. These vector shapes are created using paths. There is a black color line you see here. That is called path. I'll tell you wrapping also, don't worry. You can see a black color path, right? This one is the path which will not print. That edge is not going to print. When you're printing, what you see is this one without path. If you select the layer, it will show the path. Maybe if you want to edit the path, you can edit it using these tools, direct selection tool. You can click and edit the path. You're going to modify the path. Okay. If you want to modify the path, you can edit it. But this path will not print. Okay, only the color is getting printed. If you want an outline, if you want a border color for this one, select the shape. Here stroke. You go to stroke and choose a color here. That's going to print. Only that stroke will print. Okay, now you see a thick border here. This border color you can choose here. This stroke means border. Select the layer, click on stroke. Even in stroke also, no stroke, color, flat color, multicolor, gradient color in the stroke, only the outline. Outline is gradient now. You can keep multiple gradients also, like this, multiple colors. Outline also you can change multiple colors. You can have a pattern instead. You can have a pattern in the border also. Same options. Whatever you see here, same options are here, which goes for the outline only. So fill color, stroke color. Only if you want stroke, enable the color. If you don't want the stroke, just no. If I want only stroke, if I don't want the inside color, I can do that, right? I will give red color outline and go to fill, no color. So then I got only outline. So only outline is possible, only fill is possible, right? Like this. If you want only outline, you can get outline. If you want only fill, you can get fill. You can get gradients. You can get outline with fill like this also. Got it? Multiple options. You combine them and create your own styled buttons. So that's about rectangle tool. If you go to rounded rectangle also, you have the same options. Same options. If you learn one tool here, only the shape is different. Options are same. If you go to rounded rectangle, you will just create a rounded rectangle which has a radius like 10 pixels radius. You create like this. If you want more pixels radius like 25 pixels radius, you draw like this. Rounded rectangle. And same option goes here like coloring, gradients. You can edit the gradients like this. You can edit the gradients. You can have a texture if you want. In games, you see textures. Okay, in game buttons, you see textures. Game design, game UI design. If you're designing for a game, video game buttons. There are a variety of shapes, right? Different shapes. There is no texture here. Some games use textures also. Okay, which game I don't remember. Temple Run, it uses texture. I didn't use that game. So if you want to create any shapes for buttons for UI designing, see there is a texture inside this. Okay. So got an idea where we have to use the shapes for creating buttons for your UI designing, whether it is a video game or a website or any app. You can use these buttons. You can create these shapes and create buttons. Which one? This one? This one? I think you have to draw. this kind of strokes, if you want this kind of shapes, I'll tell you. I just told you about basic rectangle shape, right? You have other shapes also other than rectangles. You have custom shapes. If you go to custom shapes, then you can create all the shapes. You can create a button which is a kind of fish button. Click, it's a button, but you cannot click here. You have to write a program for that, for clicking. Okay, so custom shapes also there, I'll tell you. Right now we are discussing what is shapes. Understood about one rectangle, its options, modes, you understood? Okay, then go and check other shapes also. Rounded rectangle, its radius, width, height, color, stroke width. I want to explain stroke width also, right? So stroke width, you can increase the size of the stroke width. This one, the outline width, thin or thick outline, you can control here. Maybe 1 point, 2 point, 5 point, more thick border. You can control the border thickness also, and your border style also. If you want straighted, like dashed or dotted outline, dashed outline, just straight. In dash also, you can have caps here. The again, it's like a rectangle, right? You can make this one also a rounded rectangle. The dash also you can make round. That is called caps. You have caps here, rounded caps. Okay, but if you see in long, you will understand what is the difference. Okay, I will draw a big rectangle. I'll make sure you understand what is caps. If I draw a big rectangle like this, and I'm having a border color of blue, and thickness is something like this, a big border. And if I make it dashed, what I see is rectangles again here. I can make them cap on. Then you get a rounded caps, like a capsules. Cap means like a capsule, how it will be? It will be round. So like it's capsule. So these options are there. You can try them. Okay. Alignment, whether it's outside, inside, center, outside, capped or no capped. Yeah, corners. Corner also you can change to flat. Okay. For some reason this is not working. That we'll see later. Okay. You can try them out. You have various options to change the caps and dashed lines to dotted lines also. You have dotted lines. There are more options where you can enter the dash width and gap. Again, dash width and gap. You can enter more gaps if you want. If you want a specific gap between the dash, you can enter that dash width also. That options are available here. So that we will have an example, just showing the option. Okay, we'll do some example later. So let's understand. You understood what is fill, stroke, stroke width, stroke styles. Yeah. You will get only these options if you are putting it in shape mode. If you are in path mode, you don't have these options. If you are in pixels mode also, you don't have these options. Only in shape mode. If you put this one in shape mode only, you have shape options. Okay. If you are in paths option, you will get only path, just path, which you cannot print also. Okay. Paths will not print. Not for, will not print. Path will not print. Shapes will print. Pixels also will print. Only path you cannot print. Okay. If you are drawing something in path mode, and if you draw, you'll get shapes, but this will not get in the output. They are just only paths, this outline. The purpose of this path will be different purpose. For masking, we will use this one for masking. Okay, masking is a separate topic. So don't use path mode now, use shape mode if you want to create shapes. So if you go to down here, you have ellipse. Same options goes for the ellipse also. If you go down, you have polygon. Same option goes for the polygon, but you can control the number of sides. That's an extra option for this. Means if you want a triangle, you can put 3, you get a triangle. 4, you get 4 sides box. That's the difference between normal rectangle and the polygon. If you want to draw line, you can just draw lines, straight lines. And again, you can control the thickness of this one, put a stroke, and you can control the thickness of this rectangle. Okay, not rectangles, straight lines. You can control them. Okay, other than this, custom shapes. So this many layers I created. I delete these layers. So if you go to custom shapes, here extra option is there, shape option. Okay. Other than the shapes, remaining everything is same. Inside filling color, outside color, thickness, styles, everything is same. But here shapes are different. If you want to create different shapes, like this film, like a film strip, you can draw like a film strip. This is a shape. Like an arrow, you can draw an arrow here. You can draw a hand shape, like a palm. Some puzzle shapes. Excuse me. You have all these shapes. Okay. So how many types of shapes here? There is a category here. Okay, if you go to this wheel, click on this wheel, settings wheel. When you are in custom tool, if you take this tool, this amoeba kind of shape, if you take this custom shapes tool, you have a shape options here. And when you open the shape options, again there are some settings here, this button. So from this button, you can load many shapes. You can reset them, load, save, replace. You can change the icon size, text only, small thumbnail, large thumbnails, small list, large list. And you can uh, go to a list like this, only all. If you want only arrows, go for arrows only. You will see only arrows. These options are there. Let me show you. If I click on reset and OK, these are the basic shapes you see by default. When you first time install and open the Photoshop, you see this many shapes only. Okay. Because I enabled all shapes, I can see all shapes. By default, you will see like this, basic one example for everything. If you want only animals, you click on animals, click OK, you see animal shapes. If you want symbols, click on symbols. You get different symbols. Infographics. Music, you see only regarding music notes. So there are some categories here. You can switch on and switch to any shapes you want. Web styles, click on web. You see web styles like plus, minus, play buttons, arrow buttons, like this. Banners and awards, click OK. You can create banners and awards. So you have something like this, a banner. And you can fill a gradient inside this. You can rotate the gradient 0 degrees. You can keep reflected type, and you can swap the colors. Okay, here you have reverse gradients, white, black, white, right? Black, white, black, opposite colors. You can swap it. There is a button to swap the colors, means reverse button on, and then you can add more gradients if you want. You can customize them. You can have something like this one. You can keep some blue color, double click, blue color, And here you can keep some red color. You can customize them. Okay, colors is your option. You can choose any colors. Like I told, analogous colors, monochromatic colors, what else? Complementary colors. You choose the color combination according to that color combination. Don't choose blue and red. Choose some colors which are smooth transitions. Something like this. Nearby colors. Okay, nearby colors. Blue and purple are nearby colors, like analogous colors. You can make it little lighter also if you want. Okay, like this you can create banners and put some text on this. Take a typing tool, type the text, something like a welcome. Sorry, E. Change the size. You want to bend this text also, you can change the color, right? You can change the color. Color is not good. Put it white color. And you want to bend this title also, right? You can bend it. You can wrap it. In title, you have wrap options here. You can go and make it like an arc, and don't make too much arc. Less. Reduce the arc size little bit, like this. You can create a welcome, or you can create an offer, 50% off. Like very common thing. We give offers, right? We give offers, 50% off banner, and create your own design. In the background, you can put some image. Some, what will say, gold. We'll take gold. Some image like this. You download this. Where is our class? 13, right? I want to bring that image here. So what I'm doing, I go to File, Place. There's an option called Place. Means it's like import into the existing image, existing design. Go to File, Place, browse your image. Sorry, I think time up, right? Select this image, place it. You got an image layer like this, and no need to resize, right? It's almost size is fitting. Just make it a little bigger. So where is my offer? That is below, bottom layer. Now you bring this layer just below this layer. Offer comes up. Then select these two layers, Control T, and then scale it. Then you can write your matter here. Okay. So change the colors according to your requirement. Okay, gold, right? Give some yellow colors combination. So like this, I'm explaining about shapes, not about the designing part. I'm just explaining the shapes. Designing you will learn later also, don't worry. Like ads designing, poster designing, you will learn it. But let's complete the tools. So you understood these shapes, custom shapes. So put all, then you get everything here. You can load the shapes. I'll just complete this loading shapes and I'll close. Okay, how to load the shapes. If you want download some shapes and use them in Photoshop, how to do that? You can download the shapes. Small thing, simple. Like yesterday we installed fonts, right? Similarly, we can download the shapes from internet. It's called custom shapes for Photoshop free download. Anything you type free download, you will get it in Google. So there are many custom shapes. Click here, you get a website. Website is shapes for free. I'll enter this website name here. To download more shapes. There are only few shapes in Photoshop. If you want more shapes, you have to download them. Shapes like this, cakes, food items like this, wheels, calendar shapes, snow shapes. So this one. Where is the download option? Down? Yeah, download. Photoshop, class 13. Again, you will get a zip file, same like your fonts. You will get a zip file, download it. So this zip file, you open it, right click, extract to the same folder. So this is the file, CSH, this one. You have this CSH file, .csh. CSH means custom shapes. This file you have to install, but it's not like right click install. Okay, so I'll show you where to install. Go here, go to settings, first reset everything, click OK, reset. Then click on this wheel again, load shapes. Where is your file? That CSH file. So it is asking for that CSH file. You have to show that, browse it, show. So select this file and open in the load option, load it. Then you got that cake shapes here. I just downloaded this cake shapes. This one. Piece of cake. Like this. So these are the custom shapes. Just now I installed it. Got it? Shapes are always flat colors or gradients. Okay, you can make it gradient if you want. You can make it gradient also. You can create gradient colors or flat colors only. Real images is not possible. Okay, real images is not possible using shapes. So try this, guys. Understood about shapes, custom shapes? Try this. Tomorrow we will learn about pen tool. If you want to create your own shape, how to create, that will be tomorrow's class. Means this cake is somebody created. If you want to create your own cake, what you will do? You will use pen tool. Pen tool is our next class. Okay, this tool. We'll cover pen tool tomorrow. Okay, guys. See you then. Bye.
Bye, sir.